Hi everyone, this is Lori with 3 Keys Astrology. Good morning. This video today is going to be a little bit more educational about some planetary configurations than my normal weekly forecast. This, however, will be your forecast March 18th through the 25th. Now, if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for joining. Thank you to all of you that share my work and bring other people into our astrological orbit. The stars matter, destiny matters. And this week ahead, the moon's going to be touching the fated nodes. This is really important for the world at large, and there's so much going on in the stars. We have a lot to talk about. So if you're new to the channel, your 3 keys are your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. And the rising sign's designated by where the sun was at dawn on the horizon on the day that you were born, wherever you live in the world. So you may not have been born until dinner time, or maybe not until 10 o'clock at night. But the dawn of where the sun was determined your rising sign, through which constellation it was rising on the horizon. So your 3 keys, I have a website, www.3keysastrology.com, where you can order all your readings. Now, there's a lot going on. And if you listened to the forecast last week, and for those of you that are new, you should know that I do legal analysis and criminal analysis. I offer astrological consultations besides readings. You can go see everything that I offer, again, at my website, www.3keysastrology.com. You're also welcome to email me at Ducky. It's Ducky, like a little duck, Mama Duck. My daughters used to call me Ducky, Mama Ducky. And it's Ducky at 3keysastrology.com. The reason I'm asking you to do this, there's also a donate button on my channel, on my website. Thank you so much for all of your donations, all of your kind words and encouragements. The reason I want you to know about the donate button is because I'm going to offer for about a month and a half 2 very distinctive readings based on the astrology and the current situation. The first one is just a Pluto reading for you. The cost is $75, and I'll meet you on Zoom for a half an hour. You must know your birth time, your birthplace, and your birth city in order to get this reading. The reason I'm doing this is because Pluto is at a critical degree in the astrology, which is major transformation in all of our lives. We're going to talk a lot about him today, and I'll be doing more work on him for you. Now, you can peruse through the channel. My channel, I think, is 3 years old now, and I did a lot of work on Black Moon Lilith. She has ingressed into Leo. This is megalomania, and at its worst. Not that megalomania is ever anything nice. So I'm also offering a Black Moon Lilith and Pluto reading combined. That cost is $150, and you'll meet me on Zoom for an hour for that reading. So go to the donate button and order either the $75 one or the $150 one. Pluto and Lilith together is an hour long, $150, Pluto alone, and you must know your birth information. So you're going to email me your birth information and tell me which of those readings that you want to have. And again, all of my work is done through Zoom. I work from home. I'm an astrology teacher. I've got students all over the world. I've done 8,000 readings to date. And on my channel, if you peruse through, you can go see the work I've done on Black Moon Lilith if this is an entity unfamiliar to you. You can go see my criminal analysis of the Murdoch family, Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeff Epstein. I did an elaborate one on Prince Andrew. I also, because I do legacy readings and we have generational karmic knots to work out in families, the fact of the matter is none of us are perfect. We're all a work in progress, and that's going to really come to a boiling point at the end of this month. We've got a lot of hot energy, just so you know. So go peruse the channel, invite all your friends to subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that and sharing my work. This month, this time of the year is quite exciting. Mercury is moving really fast, and again, if you want to learn astrology, those learning modules, you can pay, you get 10 hours with me. For each module, there are 4. There's a supplementary star module, which is all the bells and whistles of astrology. You can pay for all 5 at once, but come on over and join me. I have plenty of students who really loved my instruction and style of teaching. I was a substitute teacher for a while and studying to be a professor when I had a grave accident that was life-changing at my age 43. I have 3 daughters that are all academically talented. I know a little bit about teaching, and I make astrology fun. So the March 18th through 25th is pretty exciting. 170-year-old for his birthday would be Vincent van Gogh on the 30th. Happy birthday to all you Pisces, and now it's happy birthday time for all of our Aries friends. The other important thing is the spring equinox is happening, so we've got equal daylight and equal night. You can see the world's lighting up. Blossoms are starting to pop, and this is an exciting time of the year for love, for brand new beginnings. It's one of the best times of the year for those of us who just love new growth and spring, and that applies to you as a human being with a soul living in a body, having a human existence. This is our astrology new year. So it's not January for we that study astrology, all of us that are scientists of the stars. Mercury, like I said, is flying really, really fast. It's skipping through 3 signs this month. So there's going to be a lot of scurrying around, a lot of moving around. We have a brand new moon coming on the 21st, which is Tuesday. And that is when the sun and the moon meet together and mate in the sky. Now, this is really important. Aries, come and get your birthday readings. I have a Time Lord reading that maps you out month by month. I can do solar return readings. I'm an advanced intuitive astrologer, so there's a lot I can help you with this new year. This is a pretty big year for Aries, and Pluto is going to help benefit you come January 2024, and you're going to get a little bit of this, and I'm going to talk about that and each sign. So this video is going to be a little bit long, but I think you're going to enjoy the information. Now, Saturn has ingressed into Pisces. That's an uncomfortable placement for Saturn. There are 2 very diverse energies in a collision. So if you're ruled by Saturn, that's you, Capricorn. If you're ruled, and that can be you, Aquarius, your ancient ruler. So if you're a conservative Aquarius, very traditional, what I'm about to say applies to you. So we've got Capricorn on fleek, on notice, I should say. Saturn ruled Aquarians and Saturn ruled Capricornians. And any of your 3 keys in these signs, this matters to you. We're going to buck that up against Pisces, a very, very different energy. And therein, if you notice who your Capricornian friends are compared to your Piscean friends, these people and types of personalities are night and day. Pisces is a dreamer. It's a very highly evolved spiritual soul, the highest as a matter of fact. They get themselves into a lot of trouble because they really are the least earthly being after newborn babies. That's the closest to heaven that we get. That's why babies are irresistible, and babies of all mammals on this planet. Pisces energy is soft. It's dreamy. It's imaginative. These are artistic people and musical people, where Capricornian people are administrative and reticent about trusting. Pisces will meld with you, blend right in with you, want to get to understand you. Pisces is emotional. It's very feeling. And Capricorn is not. Capricorn is business as usual, just the facts. They're interested in earthly progress. They are a materialistic sign. Aquarius is a little bit more advanced than a Capricorn, a lot more advanced mentally, but yet it's mental. Capricorn is earthy. Aquarius is air energy, and Pisces is water energy. So when Saturn ingresses into Pisces, imagine that we are all on this planet, wherever your stars are in these signs, going to face issues of fantasy to reality. Where am I trusting too much? Where am I living in la la land? Where am I escaping the realistic aspects of my life that need to be faced. Capricorn would face challenges head on. Aquarius would figure out how to handle them. But Pisces is going to run away from them. Pisces doesn't want to go where it hurts. Pisces doesn't want to talk about painful things. Pisces wants to help you, but they will come, they're not good at practicality. So Pisces will come and say, oh, I feel so sorry for you, I'll give you a hug, but they won't get your groceries if you're disabled or you've just had a surgery and you're unable to drive or do things. They're not that practical. They're in a realm, in a world that is dreamy and elusive, and it's that feeling of a little bit drunk and a little bit high. And that is the very antithesis of the energy that is Capricorn. So this ingression of Pisces, of Saturn moving into this dream world, is going to put all of us on notice. The good thing is Saturn has been in a contest with Uranus in Taurus. So we Taurians are going through major changes with the nodal axis on there, as Scorpio has to learn to let go of things. And then Leos and Aquarians are kind of stuck in the crux of the crosses of life, the cross we bear. We all have this cross to bear in this life. This will be the fifth Sunday of Lenten. This time of the year is the Annunciation on the 25th. And this would have been Van Gogh's 170th birthday. Now, he was an Aries, a very troubled man. And there's a beautiful song called Starry, Starry Night that is perfect for this forecast, because we're having a new moon on the 21st, Tuesday. And this new moon is joined with Mercury, Jupiter, and Chiron. This can be extremely healing energy, but it's also very hot energy, like Vincent van Gogh's temper was. And he has a red beard, and these Aryan people are a force of people that are warriors, warlike. And wherever you have Aries in your birth chart, this is where you have the potential to be a warrior and a fighter. Go for a cause. When the sun and moon come together in Aries, this is a brand new beginning for all of you Arians. And I highly encourage you, with where Pluto's going to be until 2024, this is when you put the saddle on the horse, take the horse by the reins, if the horse is your life, and go after what you want. Aries is going to benefit this. Sagittarius is going to benefit this Pluto ingression into Aquarius, and so will Leo. These Arians are fiery. So Aries, I taught an astrology and remedy class last year. It's available for private use if you want. So email me at ducky@3keysastrology.com and I'll get that to you. Aries are shown, they often have a dimple in their chin. They have a very fast gait. They're not holding the door for you. They're not waiting for you like the earth signs would. They're often in a big hurry and they're not paying attention. Like Sagittarius, they have an aim. They've got somewhere to go. This is the feeling. So the energy on the earth is going to get really, really palpable. We are going to, with this ingression of the spring equinox in this new moon in Aries, we're going to be on the go, we're going to be busy, and we're going to want to get things done. Unfortunately, there's tempers that are going to come into this mix. So we're going to have an exact conjunction in Aries that is agitation to Uranus and Taurus. It's a scratchy, itchy, rash-like feeling about the chicken pox. So Aries and Taurus, very different energies. Uranus is in Taurus, bear with me. Aries' new moon and sun are in, the sun and moon are in Aries, and we've got Neptune and Pisces. They're all at points of critical degrees. So this is emotional. This is about your possessions and your material goods. This is also about brand new beginnings and fate that won't wait. So there's going to be social unrest. When Saturn was squaring Uranus the last 2.5 years, that energy was very different and very dynamic compared to Saturn in Pisces. And that is that the whole wide world is going to have to face reality checks. So this is true for each of us, and Saturn will be in Pisces for the next 2.5 years. So let's begin here. Major shifts are going on in life. Things are going to be very fast-paced. Pluto is in Areta, a critical degree, and can be life-threatening disease. Pluto is one of the death planets. Saturn is one of the death planets. So there's major changes going on, and it's now or never for the entire world. On the 19th, Sunday, we've got Mercury is going to go to meet Jupiter and Chiron in Aries. And like I said, time's going to fly because he's skipping through 3 signs: Aquarius, Pisces, and now in Aries. So lots of scurrying around, lots of things to get done. You're going to feel like it's busybody energy. Aries have that energy. Aries children are very, very busy and active. This sign is ruled by Mars, and that's why we're going to talk a lot about temper. And I'm going to talk to you about energy in the body. So Aries children flush fast. They're often splattered with freckles. When I did the analysis, go see Crimes, Critters, and Cruelty on the channel. When I did the Murdoch analysis back in October 2021, I talked to you about hereditary disposition and the anger that is in the Irish, the Scottish, the red-headed Viking tribes, and can be Norsemen as well. And there's a red flush to the skin, a red tone to the skin. Alex Murdoch is a redhead. His 2 sons are redheaded. And there's hereditary dispositions that happen that are DNA, of course, scientifically, but also cosmologically. So because this is a Mars-ruled energy, and because we've got Jupiter in Aries, it's going to be warm. The planet's going to warm up fast, beginning on the 21st of March. This new moon is going to be Sun, Moon, Mercury, Jupiter, and Chiron all in Aries. Now, there's a lot going on, and like I said, major shifts in life. Capricorns, I'm going to tell you again all the things you've been going through since 2008, and the world at large, wherever, if your 3 keys are in Capricorn, especially Capricorn rising, this was a big, huge ordeal. 2008 came in and shook us all up on the earth. The earth rumbled. Bureaucracy and corruption was exploded and expanded upon and shone under the bright lights of the sun. It's important that while you listen to this forecast, whenever the sun is in a certain constellation, the power of that energy is here for all of us to use. All of the bright, beautiful things about Aries are that they're energetic, that they're great athletes, that they're willful, that they're strong-bodied, that they're inquisitive, that they're pioneers. And this potential lies here for all of us, most especially in your Aries house. If you've never gotten a birth chart reading, come and get one, and you'll start to be able to speak this language and understand this science. So these major shifts that are going on are pretty incredible. On the 24th, Friday, there's going to be a nice, it's quite the fated day. The node is going to be in touch with the moon in Taurus. So all of we that are Taurus and Scorpio, pay attention, because this is a fated day, very, very fated day. Wherever you have Taurus and Scorpio in your chart, pay attention. So if your 3 keys are in any of those signs, if you have a stellium in any of those signs, if you're Taurus rising or Scorpio rising, Friday the 24th is a very fated day. And that's going to be starting at midnight when those fated nodes go in. Now the 25th, Mars is going to ingress into Cancer. Just like the dichotomy that is Saturn and Pisces, Mars and Cancer don't blend. We've got a fiery planet and a watery sign. And this can be a very frustrated energy, and it can turn into passive aggression. It's a conundrum for fire and water on the planet. There's going to be an increased push for gun control and to disarm the population with this by those that are people in power that are very socialist minded and very democratic in their liberal ideas to control the sheeple. And I am a staunch Republican. I'm a very conservative and Catholic astrologer. You wouldn't be watching my channel if you didn't know this by now. And to disarm the people is to take away their power. And when Pluto's in Areta, believe me when I tell you, and when the sun, Mercury, Jupiter, and Chiron, and the moon are all ruled by Mars, which is the 21st, this is hot topics. This is hot energy. This is Mars ingression into Cancer on the 25th is a high point of frustration. So I'm going to pause for a moment and talk to you about a little bit about some important things. First of all, I'm an energy healer as well, and have studied healing methodologies since I was 18 years old. I want you, while you're going through this, I have a private Facebook group. It's kept private on purpose for the quality of the people that are in there from all over the world. And we've got lots of psychotherapists, nurses, doctors. I've read for an upper echelon of highly educated people and have helped find missing persons and have read for people that do that very work. The reason I want to pause for a moment and talk about fire and fire in the body, wherever you feel inflammation or flush or sweating or you're hot, those menopausal years, this is indeed the element fire in the body. The red-headed population on the earth of people come from planets, and I believe they do. Mars is loaded with iron oxide, so it's red. That's why they have red tones, red hair, red freckles. Their body has something called pitta, which is an internal fire that is not friendly to dairy and can cause stomach upsets. All of these planets under the rulership of Mars are excellent for getting things done, for working out. You can build more muscle. You can have better athletic sessions. You can have great athletic sex during this time. But when it comes to the emotional being, because of where Taurus is, because of the planets inhabiting Taurus, Uranus in the North Node, because of Saturn in Pisces, and because of these four major entities ruled by Mars, this is emotional, this is physical, this is violent aggressions with Pluto and Areta in an uncompromising position to all those planets in Aries. Guys, this is a mark for brutality. It's the mark for rape. It's the mark for domestic violence. It is not funny. And it is better for you to live peacefully with peaceful people. So I want to talk about fire in the body. So we have an enteric brain in our bellies that's in the small intestines. That's your hunch. That's your intuitive glitch from the stars, from your spirit guides and angels that lets you know that there's something awry. Sorry, I have to change positions here. Excuse me. And this energy, I want you to literally think of as a ball of fire. So if you're in those uncompromising positions, if you're being bullied in a relationship, if you're with someone you can't trust, and betrayal is a part of the thing, because Pluto in Areta can be betrayal. That's for all you Aries, all you Libra, all you Cancer, all you Capricorn. You wouldn't be watching an astrology channel if you were interested in staying where you are. You're interested in the evolution of the soul. You're interested in growing. You're interested in being more spiritual, more soulful. The best thing I can tell you is the best help of all right now is Lenten. And it is going to be about something I'm going to talk about, that these feelings are like a cauldron, like a hot, hot pot ready to boil over. This will be true for the end of this month. This forecast only goes to March 25th. I'll be doing a final forecast for you. But I want you to identify in your body where the heat is. Where's the heat? Where's the hurt? And picture it to be a red ball. Is it in your belly? Is it in your guts? Do you feel gut punched? Do you feel depressed? Do you feel angry? Because Mars ingression into Cancer is a passive aggressive energy. Saturn in Pisces is feeling stifled, feeling frustrated, feeling stuck, feeling like you're drowning in life and you have no way out. Many of the people in my private Facebook group from all over the world have discussed feeling frustrated, feeling agitated, feeling angry because of those planets in Pisces, Aries, and Taurus. That's real. It's not imagined. Is the heat in your head? It is if you're Aries. Is it stuck in your throat? It is if you're Taurus. Is your chest pounding and your heart palpitating? Yes, it is if you're Leo. You can find out more about that in my astrology and remedy classes or on private video. And once you pay for those courses, I'll send you those private videos for you to learn. So I want you to imagine you have an enteric brain in your belly. There are as many neurotransmitters in your small intestine as there are in your brain. And that is why we get these gut punches and shock and reaction, and there will be a lot of it. There's going to be an abundance of kidnapping, brutality to women, murder with guns and weapons and violence. I'm totally against gun control. I'm 100% for mental health. And if you realize that you're in a situation, find a good psychotherapist. If you're in an abusive relationship, get out of it. God gave you one precious life, and you don't have to spend it suffering. So I want you to identify, where in the body am I on fire? Is it my belly? Is it my guts? Is it my brain? Is it my throat? Things like strep and laryngitis, they're people that have their feelings stuck and they can't express themselves. Headaches and problems are from anger. Weeping and grief and sorrow is anger turned inward. If you have backaches and back problems, it's because you have not resolved your past. I'm talking to you, Capricorn. I'm talking to you, Aquarius. Pluto's coming to call, and you need to resolve the past. If your issues are gout or things in your feet, you can't walk forward because you're stuck in your damn past. If you have, I can go on and on about astrology and remedy, but let me get back to the focus. Picture where that hot energy is in your body, and then ice it, and then cool it, and then change through meditation. Close your eyes and gradually change that hot, red, fiery feelings of frustration, anger, pissed off. I'm sick of being put down. I'm sick of being brutally attacked. I'm sick of being manipulated by the news and by the government. And take all of that anger, whatever it is, and slowly change that fiery red ball into a cooling green color. Think of the green grasses of Ireland. The last video that I did for you, I introduced you to one of my favorite videographers, Tim Janis. He's got incredible channels on YouTube. Please go subscribe to him. And there's a calming effect. When you wear the color green, when you look at the color green, it's great for heart disease. It's great for liver disease. So liver is people that get cancer of the liver, people that are alcoholic, have this bilious temperament because of anger. And the liver is a hot organ of garbage disposal. But when you hold on to feelings, when you don't let go, when you're holding on to 1980 or 1986 or 2002 or 2008, you're literally obstructing and inflaming the inside of your health, your body. And we are souls that want to be free. We want to course through green grasses, especially we Taurians, we earth signs. We're not into the drama that Aries will very much engage in, that Leo loves, and that Sagittarius just blazes like a fire. So this conflict of mental and emotional and physical is very real. And you can come to me. I care. Come and get your consultations. Let me help you see why, where, and when it will be alleviated and how you can remedy it. So picture that fireball. Am I angry? Or fire in my eyes? Is there fire in my belly? Are my feet on fire? Are my hands on fire? Is my throat on fire? What is the situation? And then calmly cool it to green. Drink green tea. Avoid alcohol, especially this month. Avoid drug use of any kind this month. It's Lenten. You're supposed to be holy, purifying, and cleansing yourself. Now, I have a sweet little daughter that's not really my daughter. She calls me Mama. I call her my daughter. And she made this sweet little 3 keys cooling mug for me. And I want you to... The other thing to remember is Aries is fire, Pisces is water. Water is purifying, cleansing, nothing better for you to drink right now. Forget alcohol, drink teas, don't have caffeine. Aries energy is charged up enough. We're going to be energetic enough. We don't need any more energy. But I'm about to tell you something. Because of this boiling, roiling, frustrated energy that's going to be very explosive and very brutal, and crime rates are going to skyrocket right now, especially crimes against women and crimes against government and governing forces that CEO people are pissed off at. There's going to be school shootings. It's not going to be nice, friends. I hate bringing you bad news, but whenever there's fire and anger and frustration, it needs to be dealt with. So I want you to picture a roiling, boiling cauldron, and I want you to take water, a nice pure glass of water, and cool off and pour out all those feelings, all that frustration, all that pain and suffering. And I want you to do this for your children, especially adolescents, especially the juvenile adolescent population. And I want you to help people. And the reason being is, I want to talk to you first a little bit about Moon in Aries. Many of my clients have a strong moon. All of we that are Cancer rising have issues with, we're very sweet people, but we're energetic people. And Cancer sun's a little different. Cancer rising is what I'm talking about at this moment. If you're a Cancer rising, it's likely that Aries is on your midheaven, and that's people see you as a warrior. You're a hero. Yes, you're a nurturing, loving mom, but as an advanced astrologer, I can tell you it's not all cookies and milk. Cancers are survivors. And when you're born under the Aries moon, or if you have the configurations of Moon and Mars or Moon and Pluto, this is for you. The Moon-Pluto configuration can be that your mother died giving you birth. Moon-Mars configurations are that you had a mother that was not a traditional mommy. She wasn't a cookies and milk Cancer kind of mommy. She wasn't rocking you to sleep. She wasn't singing you lullabies. If you had an Aries mommy, she was likely out there in the world pioneering in some way her own cause. And you, as a child, would have had to grow up a little bit faster. You had to learn to take care of yourself very early. I've had students with this configuration that did not get along with their mothers. And mommy had some more masculine traits than she did feminine traits. If your moon is in Aries, she could be an overachiever, and she was very, very, had quite the fighting spirit, but not so maternal. And so, like I said, the child was left to fend for themselves, or felt like they were raising themselves. There was a loneliness about childhood when your moon is in Aries, and that you weren't understood by your mother, and that you didn't get the nurturance and cooperation, and maybe validation is a better word, that you should have gotten if your mom was a Taurus or your mom was a Cancer. So Aries moms aren't the cuddly, fuzzy, huggable types. They're about action. They might have been very athletic, very determined, very willful, very out there in the world on the job. And there's a selfish nature to your mom. Mother also, when you have your moon in Aries, was angry and irritable and would be suppressing that stuff. And there was a moon called Mommy Dearest. She would have some of these qualities of narcissism about not being able to relate to another being on an emotional level. She was often occupied with her own interests, and so the biggest thing she gave you in gift was she taught you how to be independent. But I want to talk to you now about what it's like when the moon is in Aries, the sun is in Aries, Jupiter and Chiron in Aries. You can be very compulsive. Your anger can light up like an atomic bomb all of a sudden, with Pluto anoretic in a critical degree, with Saturn where it is at that frustration point, with Uranus where it is in Taurus attached to the North Node, opposing Scorpio's South Node, which is Pluto ruled, and four entities so big and strong in Aries. This is feisty energy, it's hot energy, it's caustic energy. This is high frustration, this is high volatility. So make no mistake, be on guard, avoid public places. And the best thing to do when you're frustrated and emotionally distraught and upset, work out. Take all of that energy, that fireball, once you cool it down meditatively. If you're Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, we have the nature to go into meditations a lot easier than some of the other signs. But if you're an earth person, a fire person, an air person, the best thing for you to do is express yourself physically. Take a martial arts class, excellent for this time of the year. Start running, start a triathlon, train, get physical. That'll release that red ball of anger, frustration, and futility in the body, because Saturn and Pisces can make you feel hopeless and make you feel like you're drowning and make you feel like no one cares. And that's just not true. I do care. So I want to talk to you a little bit about, again, that imagery that I gave you of the cauldron boiling and bubbling up. And we know that feeling, that those feelings of frustration can roil and explode, especially if you're a bull or a ram, Aries, Taurus, a Leo, a lion. The more aggressive signs, it can explode out of us like crazy. And I want you to think of the cauldron now as an analogy of life itself. When we have this many hot stars and this much agitation, frustration, and caustic rubbing against the norm, if you will, and this social unrest and feeling stifled by government and being tired, sick and tired of them telling us how to live our lives, which is going to be the dynamic for social unrest. The countries that are warring, it's going to get really explosive and very bad. I know that the Chinese president met with Putin. Each time these two get together, hell is unleashed on the earth. And our prayers are still out for Zelensky's Ukraine and the right thing to do. And our prayers go for all those people whose lives have been torn apart by war. So the first thing I want you to do is that roiling, burning, frustrated feeling, agitation, impulsivity, aggression, anger, rage, fear. I mean, this is the highest point, guys. This is uncontrollable rage. This is out of control. When you're mindless, when you're mad with whatever anger, whether it's betrayal or, I mean, really take a look. I'll help you. If it's one person, if it's a job, if it's a situation, if it's a home, it's a neighbor, whatever it is, it's time for you to pour cleaning, healing water this Lenten and cleanse it and move forward like a happy bubbling brook. I want you to take the cauldron and turn yourself upside down and pour out everything inside you that's making you inferior. Your bad habits, your attitudes, your anger, your frustration, your selfishness, your narcissism. Every human being on this earth is a work in progress, like I said earlier. Other people will ignite you and trigger you right now more than any other time of the year with all of the planets the where they are. But when you pour yourself out and you get down on your knees and you realize how small you are and how lucky you are, and that heaven indeed lives in your body, that you do not have to engage in these ugly, dark, earthly energies, pour yourself out, cool off that cauldron. Replace that hot, fiery water with cool, refreshing water. I encourage you to eat a vegetarian diet this month, to abstain from any alcohol again, and any caffeine again. You're not going to need the extra energy. Those of you that are hooked on amphetamines, you're going to be out of control, crazy. You'll end up in a mental institution with the energy that is so palpable now. This neglecting your character in this life ultimately proves humiliation. If you are so full of yourself, like a bubbling cauldron, excuse me, please, that you're so hot and impossible to cooperate and to get along with other people, or it can be the need in you, the needy desires in you that are driving you to take from other people, to steal, plagiarize, to parasite upon others. It's time for you to empty yourself of yourself. If you remain modest, humble, inferior, if you get ready and celebrate the Annunciation that's coming, get into this fifth holy day of Lent on Sunday, and go be big enough that you can go see those psychotherapists and those people that are asking you for help. The last thing that I want to talk to you about is that I'm just going to give you a tiny little preview of those readings. So Black Moon Lilith reading with Pluto, $150 for an hour session with me on Zoom, or just Pluto because he's anaretic. So Pluto's doing some pretty major things. And I want to talk to you a little bit about Pluto. Pluto, as I said, is the ruler of the underworld. And if you think about it, it's during crisis in our life that our character grows. It's not when we're in those sweet green rolling fields of Ireland and tipping our toes in the brook and sipping a glass of wine and relaxing. Those things are very necessary for good health. But it's those Plutonian experiences in our life that rock our world and take us in some way to hell. That's why Pluto's a ruler of the underworld. If Pluto had a bride, she would be Black Moon Lilith. She both unleash hell in our lives. I want you to listen for a few things. I'm going to talk to you about some key words because Pluto's at such a critical degree. First, I'd like to tell you that Pluto is going to ingress into Aquarius. He's going to stay there for a very couple of decades, a very long time. And those of you that have your 3 keys in Aquarius and Aquarian stellium, or your sun, moon, and rising in Aquarius, come and get your readings. Your life's going to go through a major overhaul. Life will never be the same. Those of us that are born in the spring, the summer, and the fall, we're lucky. We won't experience the major upheaval unless you have stelliums in these signs. I'm talking about Capricorn since 2008 and now Aquarius. So Pluto's going to ingress into March on March 24th. And that's a very big deal. He's ingressing into Aquarius. It's going to be wonderful for technology. It's going to be wonderful for astrology. It's going to be wonderful for astronomy. It's going to be a new invention of the way we use our resources in the earth. All of our underground gold and ores and oils and all of Mother Earth's rich resources are going to go through transformational changes. And the way we use our energy is going to be majorly changed. It's been coming. It's here as of March 24th. From the 24th of March through June 11th, we're going to see huge crisis and potentials on this planet. Major upheaval and overhaul. We'll have a preview and prelude from this March 24th through June 11 of what life is going to look like come January 24th until March 10th, 2043. And this is why astrology is a science. We read probability and patterns. We are not witches. Some people like to go that way. It's not witchcraft. It's not, some of us have gifts that help us when you work with the stars and in this realm. God tunes you up a little, but it's indeed a science, and pattern and probability is what we read, and that's why we can do prediction. So I'd like to talk to you first about some of the key words for what Pluto is. He is atomic energy. So we're going to see an increase in a different kind of weaponry that's going to involve the air and the sky. It's atomic fusion. It is poisons in the body. It's necrotic decidua in the body. It is hell. It's deep cancers. It's cancers of the bowels, and it's all disease of sexual organs. It's abortion. So is Black Moon Lilith. She loves it. And that is disobeying the 10 Commandments, and it is really tying karmic knots. And if you've had to do this, felt that you had to do this under some kind of oppression, that's likely that's going to increase right now. There are other options. You do not have to course and cross yourself for the rest of your life in pain and suffering about a soul that you chose not to let live. That's you playing God. And as a Catholic, I'm against it. And I know how much suffering happens whenever people, especially young, impressionable children that just want to love and be close to someone else, get in those dilemmas. Really talk to your children and send them to me for readings. And if you're having struggles with a juvenile delinquent or a child that's being very rebellious, because they will be, Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and Cancers especially are going to be very rebellious and very hell-bent on doing what they want to do right now. I'm a mom. I'm a grandmother. So come and let me help you. Astrobiology is Pluto. Assassins are Pluto. Abnormalities are Pluto. Any kind of defect or decrepitude, a degenerated soul, people that act in degenerate ways and decide to escape from society and live dirty and filthy. Prostitution is also Pluto. It's brothels, it's burglary, it's burning of debris, it's cadavers, it's calamity, it's being callous, it's cesspools, it's coercion, it's human trafficking, it's corpses and coroners, it's cunning, it's calculating, it's defilement, it's delinquencies, it's destruction, it's dictatorship, it's those despotic control freaks. There's going to be a lot of that going on. If you're involved or married with or have children that are trying to overpower you, we're going to have major power struggles with Pluto anaretic in a critical degree, and these big, huge planets ruled by Pluto or ruled by Mars in a contest and very uncomfortable position. People are going to rather want to fight than make up. So as listening to this astrology channel, you're going to want to be the difference and be the one. So dictators and diseases and hell and hidden forces and indecencies and infections and infamy and fires and fumigations and being foul and foul breath and foul speech. It's earthquake energy. It's those tectonic plates shifting on the earth by the pressures underneath that are just like the cauldron that I ask you to empty yourself of. It's evil. And there is evil on our planet. You can't watch the nightly news without recognizing that. But the one thing evil hates is light, and it hates goodness. And that will conquer like the clear waters and clear airs and heaven sent sunlight, any evil. Don't be involved in the dark. Don't be involved in drunkenness and lies and debauchery, because those are the hidden forces of hell. Hell is, Pluto also rules kidnapping, the lower part of the kidneys. It's when you're lazy. It's when you're lewd. It rules black magic, masochism. It's morgues. It's dirty, swampy waters. Anything putrid, anything foul. It's all obscenity, all obnoxiousness, all obsessions. It's all foul odors. They say that hell smells like sulfur. And the reason that there is a hell, this biblical story that we're told to help us behave ourselves, improve our conduct and stay united with heaven and God, with our souls, is because hell burns off sin. One of my favorite medieval heroes, Dante Alighieri, has 9 circles of hell for those that are lusty and those that are gluttonous and those that are avaricious. And the reason for the fire that is hell is to purify, to burn all of the ugliness of frustration and control and domination and obsession. Are you obsessed with your lover? Are you going through things that are none of your business? Are you stalking someone that you have no right to? Are you trying to control other people? This is all Pluto's domain, and he is a very powerful force. He's even more powerful at a 29-degree anaretic critical degree, and this is going to remain. It's going to slip back after June 11th into Capricorn again. So you Capricorns, Cancers, Aries, and Libras, get your stuff cleaned up from 2008. What do you owe? Do you owe somebody? Are you in debt? Pluto is debt. Pluto is perversion. Pluto is pestilence. We could very well see some kind of a new pestilent in a flying insect or something that's going to come and cause poison and disease on the planet. It's perdition. It's pornography. It's propaganda. It's the prostate gland in the male body. It's all of it rules our sexual organs and our organs of evacuation. And so you can see an increase of the body blocked is the body that's frustrated, that's holding on to things that they should let go of. And that is what causes necrotic decidua. That's what causes cancers. That's what causes tissue to become diseased. Pluto is raped. It's ravaging. It's the rectum. It's shipwrecks. It's rubbish. It's satire. It's Satan. It's septic systems. It's severity. It's snakes. It's smut. It's sloth. It's slime. It's sleepwalking. It's terrorism. It's taxation. It's treachery. It's swampy, icky, dirty, filthy water. It's tyranny. It's ulcers. It's when you're being unscrupulous. It's upheaval. It's vagabonds. It's the vagina in the human body, the rectum in the human body. It rules birth and rebirth in a philosophical way, just as though when you go through hell or you go through some shocking experience or your whole life is bombed like an atomic bomb landed and crashed you, there's a rebirth that ultimately comes after this. And in Dante's Inferno, the sins of hell that are being burned off, that lust, that avarice, that greed, that pride, that envy, that all of this horrible 7 deadly sins, the reason is the purification. That's the glory that Pluto is. Now, Pluto is going to be very much blessing. You, Aquarius, you're going to go through some stuff. I'm telling you right now, you're going to feel like your world got turned upside down if any of your 3 keys are in Aquarius, if your rising sign is Aquarius. But ultimately, by the end of this 2020-43, when your life's completely decimated and doesn't look anything like it did when it started, you're going to have a rebirth. That's possible. Transformation's possible. When you're with the wrong people, you will be ejected. When you're with poisonous others, there's no point. You're literally killing yourself and other people. It's wretchedness, it's wrecks, it's x-rays, it's zimagurgy, and it's all venereal disease, it's all villains, it's all the vile people. Pluto can also be the victim, and it's vultures, it's whiskey, it's welfare workers and welfare offices, it's all kinds of witchcraft and dark sciences. So I want to just briefly, because this video is long, tell you a little preview of what you will be getting when you come to order those Pluto readings. Again, just go to my website, www.3keysastrology.com, click on the donate button, send me an email saying I'll get notification that you paid through PayPal, and send me your birth time, birth date, birthplace. We'll meet on Zoom for half an hour if you order the $75 Pluto reading, and I will look at your birth chart with those components of birth time, birthplace, birth date. You can ask me anything on my website. I care. I'm a mom. I've lived a long time, and I love life and have been fortunate in my life. So the Pluto reading, $75 for half an hour, and the Black Moon Lilith with Pluto reading is $150 for an hour with me on Zoom, where we will look at your birth chart and discuss how you can navigate through this very, very powerful time. Now, if you're someone in an abusive relationship, I highly encourage you to get this. If you're feeling oppressed and put down, if you're on the job and they're expecting you to take vaccines and put things in your body that are none of their business, come and get a reading. I'm going to help you, I promise. I just want to tell you that until from January 2024 through March 10th, 43 actually, but a little bit again in 44, we're going to have, this crisis is very real, and it's something that will forever change you. The irritation, the aggravation over the truth is what's possible, because Pluto ultimately, like Uranus, is trying to show you that there's a higher truth, that the truth of heaven. Now, Mercury is our mind, rules our minds, rules our Gemini friends and our Virgo friends. And you know that this little planet is a messenger of God, and our minds can take us to heaven or take us to hell. I want to tell you that Pluto in this conjunction that's going to happen to all you Aquarians is really 3 malefic planets of Uranus, Saturn, and Pluto, 2 of which are death planets. And so crisis is going to happen. It's likely, it's quite possible. We could see some danger in spacecraft explosions. For sure, I'm going to predict that. And we're going to see major breakthroughs in these stellar spaces of our cosmos during this time. If you are most of your signs, okay, hold on a second. Pluto in Aquarius that's the major thing. Aquarians are on point. This is mostly going to affect you. So again, stellium's 3 keys. If you're a Pisces, this Pluto ingressing into Mars is going to be quite profound in the ways that Saturn is giving you the reality and the fantasy seesaw of life to determine, where am I? Am I deluded? Am I acting delusional? Am I being fooled? Am I being compromised? Am I crazy? That's the kind of energies that's going to happen, because we're going to have Pluto with Neptune and Jupiter that are affecting your life. And this, again, is an agitation point. This is not comfortable. The energies are going to affect you mentally and emotionally if you're Pisces. And it can make you feel very bewildered and very lost, and also very controlled by governments or medicine or any governmental force that's trying to tell you how to do your banking or how to do your money or where you're going to live. That's Pisces dilemma. Now, when it comes to Aries, you're blessed by this Pluto ingression into Aquarius, but you're going to be hot-headed, and you're going to be volatile, and you're going to be forceful. You can even turn into a brute and tyrannical, because this is superpower, but you can use it to your good. And that's what I want you to do. Major life changes can happen for you, Aries. Any of your 3 keys in Aries, where your signs or planets are in the constellation Aries, because Pluto is really giving you a thrust forward. You know, force, like we'll give the example of a cannonball. So that's very Plutonian and very Aquarian, because this force that's a weapon is being shot into the air, Aquarius. Now, you can use this for good. And what I'm talking about is not a war weapon, but I'm talking about the force that thrusts that cannonball from that. Aries, I'm telling you right now that there's an abundance of stamina and energy and aptitude for you. So get back into your groove, Aries. This is action potential and will give you good health and well-being. So don't use it like a despot would. Don't use it like a megalomaniac would. Don't use it like a haughty narcissist would. Don't use it like that boss that thinks he's above everyone else would, or certain people in power who think they're superior, because that's just not true. Okay, if you're Taurus, any of your 3 keys, stellium in Taurus, sun, moon, rising in Taurus, this configuration with Pluto in Aquarius is going to be difficult for us. We're going to be facing some crisis and rude awakenings in our love lives and with our shared resources. Power struggles can make you feel locked in, Taurus, so come with me. Uranus is there right now helping set us free. There's no need for that, but it's ultimately about the truth, and you can't let anyone saddle you, Taurus, because those Plutonian characters who want to harness you, control you, saddle you, not let you go anywhere, are going to come to fleek. Now, unfortunately, if you have your signs here, it's likely that you're going to run into or become acquainted with people in your work life if you're a psychotherapist or you work in criminal law or any of the legal fields. This configuration for we that are Taurus is seeing people that are raped, people that are oppressed, people that are trafficked, people that are kidnapped. You're going to come into some kind of force that's deadly and that's brutal while this ingression takes place. If you are a Gemini, this is literally going to be a blessing for you in your mental acuity. So this offers major changes in the field of communications, all Gemini. 3 keys in Gemini, stellium in Gemini. Open up those channels and those doors and get cracking. Come to me for a consult. I'll help you. But if you want to rid yourself of your evil twin, Pluto can totally help that process. So I highly encourage you, Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Virgos, to come get those Black Moon, Lilith, and Pluto readings, or just Pluto alone. My God, this is when the power of Pluto in its purification can really accentuate you, Gemini, you, Aquarius, and you, Libra, but it's not going to happen without first a crisis. If you are Cancer, Pluto is in an agitated state for you, and that proves a crisis in your family. That is also true for Virgo. This is quite emotional, and it's about you facing mortality. This Pluto ingression lets you, pushes you, and can into the depths of your grief. Now, that doesn't mean you have to stay there, but I highly encourage you, Cancers and Virgos, to find a good therapist and rid yourself of those family issues and that degeneration that causes depression and dysfunction in family. Positive mental health is critical where Pluto is and positioned you, and healthy relationships are your lessons, Cancers and Virgos. I would also say that for Virgo, this can infer quite profound mental distress that needs to be quelled. So come and get my astrology and remedy videos. Again, they're locked private for purchase now, unless you took classes with me last summer. And many of my astrology students are opening up their own practices now. If you want to get familiar with all of us, stay tuned on YouTube. You're going to love the girls that I've taught. So far, I haven't had any male students, but I've had some incredible female students come into my orbit, and they're here to serve and help you too in your astrological needs. For Virgo, this is very mental, and these things need to get quelled. So it's important. Calm matters. The mineral magnesium is an amazing quelling influence in the human in homeostasis. So make sure that you're eating magnesium-rich foods, Virgos and Cancers. Make sure you're having lots of root vegetables for the whole population while Pluto's here. Make sure your family's having saline broths and nice bone broths. And if you're a vegetarian, vegetable broths too are really critical. Once a week, soup really is good for the soul. Okay, so Pluto, if you're a Leo, any of your three keys in Leo, Leo stellium, Leo rising especially, this ingression into Pluto is going to be much like it is for that uncomfortable feeling of crisis that I spoke about with Taurus. And this is going to be issues with authority and leadership and clashing of the wills. And it's going to make you feel usurped, Leo. And you're going to have to go through major phases of letting go during this next 2 decades in order for you to stay healthy, to have good cardiovascular health, to have good sexual health, to have good health of the liver. So that's going to be difficult for you. I already talked that Cancer and Virgo are in pretty much the same dilemma when it comes to family and especially children and the issues with them and dysfunction. So I would also encourage Virgo and Cancer to go get those degrees and become part of the healing process if you've been deeply hurt. They often make the best psychotherapists. Now, if you're a Libra, this, like for Gemini, this Pluto ingression is very beneficial to you, but it has, it's going to be a crisis first. You're likely going through it now and have been since 2008. This is on the domestic, in the domestic realm for all of you Libra, but Pluto's here to set you free. And the turmoil, unrequited love, any kind of domestic discord and dysfunction, Pluto's coming here to help you be an expert at relationships. This is great if you, for psychiatry students, psychotherapy students, and real estate planners, and legal eagles, social services. So make a mark on the world, Libra. It's time for you to get back in the groove and get those credentials. If you are a Scorpio, you're like Leo and Taurus, going to be coming to confrontational points, and you will experience some kind of coarseness or brutality from others. So get yourself some great friends and family if you already lived in the dark and you're already, living on the edge and living with these bad boys and bad girls, because until 2024, your likelihood to walk on the dark side is going to be very, the potential's high, and it's going to snare you in some kind of torturous imprisonments, emotionally and literally. Come get a consultation. I mean, you literally could end up in an institution that you don't want to belong into. So this is a powerful, it's Pluto squaring Mars for those of my astrology students that want to go see. It's a brutality signature, and it's about force and domination, and it's you getting yourself into big trouble, just like the idiot Alex Murdaugh did, whom I predicted did kill his wife and child and was a manipulative force and an evil force last October 21. Again, you can go see those videos for all 3 of the sons, Alex, the deceased Paul Murdaugh, and Buster Murdaugh, who's living a nightmare of a legacy right now as the only living son of this evil monster who had some incredible other qualities. That's the danger. If you are Capricorn, the last and final sign, any three keys in Capricorn, Capricorn rising, sun or moon, or stellium. These next 2 decades get quite serious and will be rather officious for you and symbolized by a lot of legal matters. Now, if you don't clean things up like I told you, you're going to get a second opportunity after June 11 to really, if it's estate planning or a family member has died and you still haven't cleaned the house out for 20 years, or if you'll be involved, Capricorns, in something that's got to do with estates, legalities, and the deceased. So this, and officiousness, legal matters. So you've really could be facing some major shifts of personal power. And what I have to say is come and get a consult. So I have skipped over an hour and 5 minutes. And I think is there anything else I want to tell you? Just keep that in mind. Empty out the cauldron and the roiling, boiling, hot, frustrated feelings and live a good life. God wants you to live well. Pluto can be your friend if you get rid of vice and all those keywords that I gave you about what he represents, and get rid of what's causing you hell. Choose to live in heaven. Choose to live in the light. And be around people that lift you up, not pull you down, make you feel down, pull you into their hells, their crazy, their dramas, their obsessions, their fetishes, their addictions, their crazy. Pluto can be madness. And when you're sucked into that vortex, that's Lilith and Pluto, the bride and groom of hell. You can be free. And there are many people who have studied long and hard to help you come back to where you belong, to be that heavenly creature that God gave you in your birthright. And I wish that for you. So finally, again, thank you for subscribing to my channel. And don't forget those readings. Pluto alone is a $75 half-hour session with me on Zoom. Pluto and Lilith are a $150 session for an hour long on Zoom. The criteria is you must know your birth time, your birthplace, and birth date. And I'll get that PayPal confirmation with your email, and then we'll set up a time together via email, and I will send you a Zoom link and we will meet. That's how I teach, that's how I consult, and all of my services are available at www.3keysastrology.com. So again, take care everyone, practice peace, practice meditation, get very physical to spend that energy, and try to be really nice to each other. We need lots of love, and it can conquer the world and all of this madness. But things are going to get hot, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, so let's make this better. Be on the light side, bright side. Bye for now. Thank you so much.